and he decides to criticize Sophie Rain for some reason. Right now, I don't like Sophie Rain. Sophie Rain is mid. Okay, Sophie Rain, I have no idea how on earth she is worth $45 million. She's making LeBron James money out here. And if you go look up a public picture of her, not like an illicit picture of her or whatever, she's mid. Okay, she's not $45 million worth. I'm sorry, but if you think about this in the context of Instagram or of any picture, if you were to take Sophie Rain and line her up to any random woman against the street in like Florida or something, she's still mid. She's not worth $45 million. And if you think about this on the OnlyFans, every person on that website has to be pretty. 99% of them have to be pretty. It's like OnlyFans would be like the NFL for pretty people. So you have all these people from college football that are coming into the NFL, and even if they're the best in the league, right, they go into the team, sometimes they'll end up as bust. That's what Sophie Rain should have been. She should have been a bust. And yet she's worth $45 million. And why is she worth $45 million? Because all these websites online and on Next keep boosting her that she's worth $45 million, even though she just like takes pictures of herself that you could probably find for free or you could probably find on Instagram. And then James Fishback starts criticizing her a few months when she's like kind of irrelevant and no one's talking about it, and then she starts going up and starts trending. I'm just saying maybe he's kind of a plant who's built to defend her, to make her go high, because it does not make sense. Let's say that you're running for high school president and you're taking on the most popular girl in school. Unless you're running face to face against her, you don't criticize. You don't criticize the head cheerleader. You don't criticize the most popular girl in school, no matter how mean she is. If she's popular, you kind of have to like take some of her support and then criticize her after you win the election. But he's not a really good campaign. That's why he's at 2%.
Think for her, they're simping for that, and it's like, it's a waste. Now, don't get me wrong, I might get criticism for this, but she is pretty.
I mean, but is she OnlyFans pretty? Is my question here. Like, okay, sure, she might be pretty in the sense of like on the street. Oh wow, look, she's so cute. But you have every pretty person who is on the site. They're all in a race to become the prettiest because that's how you make the most money. I think she's in the bottom basement level of OnlyFans people. Not that I have any experience with them, but I've seen her. If I can see some random person on the street who's better looking than her, who's not on the site, then I know full well that there's people on the site who look way far better than her, and who should be paid more than she is. But how is she the number one star? It's like a beauty pageant. You have all these random people coming across the nation who are the prettiest. If you're 50th in the beauty pageant, technically you're the ugliest. But out of any random person, if you go back to your high school, if you go back to your workplace, you would obviously probably be the prettiest person in your state or the prettiest person in your workplace. I don't think Sophie Rain even clears that. I think there's tons of pretty people in Sophie Rain's school, tons of pretty people that are in Sophie Rain's state. I mean, she goes to the University of Miami, for crying out loud. She lives around that area, and they kept showing that random star on the college football national championship, who's also mid. So I don't think that she's pretty enough, which is why I think that she's a plant and probably working with James Fishback to kind of boost herself. Because
I don't know about that, because if anything, Fishback has been pushing for a lot of other stuff.